The story begins in a fantastical world, where humans and magical creatures both inhabit different regions of the planet. Deep inside a lush forest, where dozens of magical beast species thrive and coexist, a young mother dragon descends into her cave. After laying on her egg for the whole night, it's time for her to hunt for food, so she covers her egg with dirt. However, just the soil alone is not enough to ease the mother dragon's worries, so she blasts the dirt with red-hot flames, keeping the ground warm while she is away. Once she's satisfied, she leaves the cave and flies out into the sky, searching for prey. As the dragon's gaze lands on a pair of wolves, she swoops in to capture them. Suddenly, she gets shot by an arrow straight to the head, hunted by a group of humans hidden in the bushes on the ground. After the mother dragon dies, they move in to collect her hide and meat. Sometime later, a pregnant creature called a cat sith wanders into the same cave where the dragon sheltered her egg. Compared to normal cats, the cat siths are an intelligent race that can think smartly and use magic. As this mother cat notices the cave's peaceful environment, she settles inside to give birth. A short while later, her kittens are born, and the warmth of their lively bodies seeps into the egg buried underneath the ground. This causes the baby dragon to finally hatch from its shell, and the tiny creature pokes its confused head out of the ground. Concerned, the mother cat immediately notices and pulls out the baby dragon. Exposed to the cold air of the cave, the tiny dragon starts shivering. Seeing this, the mother cat sniffs its body a few times, and she decides that it's a completely harmless creature. Then, with a heart full of compassion, she allows the dragon to nurse from her with her own babies. Since magical creatures aren't limited by normal boundaries, it's normal for them to sometimes raise children from other species. Watching the baby dragon snuggle with her children, the mother cat wonders just what kind of fantastical beast it will grow up to become. A few days later, once the babies are able to move around, the mother cat starts teaching them to hunt. She shows them how to stalk the prey from a hiding spot and how to ambush them successfully. Aside from physical hunting, the mother cat also teaches her children how to use lightning magic, since cat siths are capable of using magic spells. The baby dragon tries to copy its siblings, but it's unable to cast the lightning spell due to the difference in their talents. Then, it flaps its small wings to lift its own body off the ground, which leaves everyone impressed. Instead of lightning bolts, the baby dragon tries to use a fireball, which sadly misfires and blows it away instead. Still, the dragon quickly recovers from its failure after some encouragement from its mom and siblings. Suddenly, the mother cat detects a hostile presence nearby, and she orders all her children to remain silent. Although the kids obey, they quietly ask her why she's so afraid of these new creatures. The mom cat explains that these creatures are humans who come from a nearby kingdom. Since the forest houses plenty of weak monster species, these humans have named it the Novice Forest, and they send their beginners here to gain experience. After finishing her explanation, the mother cat warns her babies that humans can either be very kind or very cruel, depending on the individual. Also, she tells them that humans can be powerful enough to kill giant bears, and they also hunt the cat siths as prey for materials. Since these humans are so dangerous, she warns her kittens to avoid them at all costs. Hearing her stern warning, all the kids memorize the scent of humans and make a mental note to avoid them in the future. A few days later, a bright purple glow erupts from the forest, coming from a sudden summoning circle. The target of this summoning is the mother cat, who realizes that the nearby humans are trying to summon her. As the kids watch in confusion, she realizes this is goodbye. She begins to gently guide them with her last words, reminding her children to stick together if they ever face danger in the forest. Although she is confident they can survive with their own skills, she informs her children that she has had many other offspring in the forest who will readily help them if they ever need it. Then, after wishing all of her children a long, healthy life, the mother cat finally disappears and the summoning circle closes in front of the devastated children. Years later, after the cats have grown up, they leave their original cave to venture out and begin their lives as adults. Only the baby dragon, who has now grown into a handsome beast, stays behind in the place where his mother first raised him. Although the dragon can survive on his own, he feels lonely without the company of his siblings, who have been with him all these years. After some time, one of the dragon's cat sisters returns home with her husband. She introduces him to her dragon brother, who happily welcomes them both into the cave. Later, the sister cat gives birth to her kittens, and the dragon takes it upon himself to raise them. He teaches them all to hide and hunt mice just like a cat, and warns them to stay away from humans anytime they see them. The little kittens agree and accept all of their uncle's lessons, and once they grow up as well, they all leave the cave to begin their lives in the forest. Sometime later, a strange female cat walks over to the dragon's cave. Although she is a new cat, the dragon recognizes the scent of one of his brothers on her. It turns out that this female cat is one of his brother's daughters and needs shelter as she is heavily pregnant. She explains to the dragon that her father had told her to seek refuge with her uncle if she ever needed it, which is why she is now visiting him. Hearing that his siblings still remember and trust him while living their lives far away in the forest, the dragon tears up with joy, and he immediately allows the young cat to rest in his cave. Over the years, the dragon continues to grow bigger and stronger, and he gains the ability to converse with natural spirits. During one of their chats, he finally learns that he's actually a different species from the cat Siths. The disappointed dragon explains this to his cat relatives, but none of them care. Instead, they smile at him just like before, so he forgets his worries and continues to teach them. One day, as the dragon peacefully flies over the forest, he spots some humans with a massive pile of dead cats, hunted for nothing but their pelts. The dragon bursts into a rage and burns the humans alive. After destroying the humans, the dragon asks the spirits if they hunt cats for food. They explain that humans only hunt cats for their fur, which causes the dragon to get even angrier, since he thinks a creature should not be killed unless it's for food or survival. In his childhood, the dragon was too weak to protect everyone. Now, things are different, as he holds the immense power of a dragon's body, alongside the destructive capabilities of spirit magic. The dragon decides it's had enough of the humans' cruelty, and it flies over to the nearest kingdom to warn them. As the humans notice the giant dragon in their land, he announces in a dominant tone that he has killed the adventurers who murdered the innocent cats. He warns the rest of the humans that they will suffer the same fate if they don't stop attacking the cats without reason, but the humans refuse to listen to his words. Instead, they call all their mages and attack the dragon with lightning spells. Because humans cannot use pure spirit magic, their spells are incredibly weak and ineffective against the powerful dragon. The dragon grows furious at their rebellion, and he starts burning the entire kingdom with his flames. In his rage, he thinks that all humans deserve to die, but then he spots the weak commoners, as well as an innocent young girl crying helplessly on the ground. The girl also has a pet cat, who bravely tries to defend her from the dragon. Seeing one of his own relatives so close to a human, the dragon's heart is moved, and he decides to forgive them for the sake of their kind people. However, he does not leave them without a warning, saying that if the humans kill another cat without the need for food or self-defense, he will follow up on his previous punishments. Years after the dragon rampage, a new prince has grown up in the human kingdom. Unfortunately, this prince has a pitiful magic talent, so the entire royal family is worried for his future. The prince himself knows about his shortcomings, so he sneaks out of his room at night, trying to practice magic on his own. After he fails multiple attempts, a cat appears by his side. The prince looks towards the cat, who gives him comfort at this tough moment. Then, he tries again, and this time, he successfully burns a leaf with the power of his magic. The prince celebrates his victory, but he notices that the cat is also cheering. Since cats are not allowed in the palace, the prince figures that this cat snuck in here at night. However, he also knows that the kingdom is supposed to leave all cats alone and return them to the forest to avoid the dragon's anger. He asks the cat if it can find its way back to the forest, so it nods and leaves. The next night, the prince sneaks out again, wondering if the cat will show up as well. Though he's disappointed at first, the prince quickly finds the cat waiting for him. From that day, the cat starts supporting him in his magic learning journey, to the point where the prince learns how to talk with it. One day, as the prince shares food with the cat, an elder from the palace quietly watches them from a distance. He reports it to the king, who immediately summons the prince for a chat. After making sure that the prince is not mistreating the cat, the king allows him to remain friends with it, thinking that the dragon won't get mad without a reason. Before the elder can voice his protest, an alert startles everyone as the legendary dragon appears once more in the kingdom. The terrified people wonder if their end has come, but the dragon only sits and looks around for a certain someone. Soon, the cat walks out of the palace and begins talking with the dragon. It tells the dragon that it wants to teach magic to the young prince, but he refuses, thinking it's too dangerous to hand over over such a powerful magic to the unpredictable human race. However, the cat reassures him that the prince is his friend, and soon enough, the young boy runs out to meet the dragon. As the cat introduces the prince to him, the dragon recalls the familiar scene of the small cat protecting a young girl all those years ago. This softens his heart, so he agrees to discuss things with the human king. The cat smiles and thanks him, and soon, he uses a shape-shifting magic to achieve a cat form as well. In his cat form, the dragon walks into the king's chambers. The king humbly greets him as the imperial dragon, and the dragon grudgingly admits that the little prince has somehow won over his cat relative, since the cat wants to teach him magic. The dragon offers to let him stay as long as the king agrees. Hearing this, the king is shocked, since the magic used by the dragon is the strongest and most secret magic in the world. However, the dragon doesn't care for it nearly as much, explaining that anyone can learn it by talking to natural spirits. Still, the king knows that spirit magic is powerful enough to literally change the world's power balance in his kingdom's favor. He begins to thank the imperial dragon in a respectful manner, but the dragon thinks he's being too pretentious, and instead tells him to call it the cat dragon. Hearing this, the king smiles and quickly agrees. From that day, the young prince learns the secret spirit magic from the forest cat, and he passes it forward to other humans. As the years go by, whenever a king has a child, the forest cats visit the castle to befriend the new prince and teach him magic. In time, humans begin protecting the forest cats, while the cats continue sharing their precious magic with them in return. Meanwhile, the dragon continues to live in his old home, teaching magic to his descendants in the same protective way he has done all these years. That was episode 1. Subscribe to not miss the next part and watch the next video on screen.